Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Soul Centered CEO Show. So excited to be back with you this week, and so happy to have with us my dear friend Yeti. She's an extraordinary human with a beautiful story, and I cannot wait to have you just dive in and get all of the goodness that she is bringing to this week's episode.
And what is not really, I think that really for me, well, I made some mistakes that I know that it felt my gut felt off, but it's just really, a self-learning journey. And I asked last year to become really comfortable in my body and to be able to dance in front of the camera and to feel free. And I did the chakra course from Joy for the second time. And that's when I got sick, really sick.
Wow.
So it is all, it's almost like magic. And I had like a really swollen face. Like, one day maybe I'll show you a picture. Like cellulitis, it's called. I think it can be really dangerous and go in the brain.
Yeah.
It was on the day of my important photo shoot for my website. So how odd. That is not a coincidence.
It's always, the timing is always perfect.
It's always, yeah.
Yeah.
And I had a Lyme disease bite, a rash, in 2014 on my left breast, 1 year after I started having health issues already. And I had them in 2008. So literally the tick bite, the Lyme disease was pointing at my breast, like
attention, call you.
hey,
Almost like
look,
calling your
these are not good for you, right?
attention.
It's just, yeah, life is just one big miracle. Like, so there's lots to write about.
It
To
really
talk about.
is. Well, and I think that, so I went ahead and started recording because I just feel like this is such an important conversation. So we're gonna keep going if that's okay.
Sounds good. Yeah, yeah.
Because I think your message is so critical right now, for so many women that have struggled with all of these different autoimmune issues, all these kind of unknown, like where's it
Mhm.
coming from? And I'm sure that so many doctors have said, there's nothing wrong with you, everything's fine, oh, it's this, or it's fatigue, or it's, they minimize, and they don't actually pay attention and listen to the root cause. And I
Right.
think what you are doing really is bringing voice to, well, to so many things, right? You're creating a platform to kind of pave the way for women in beauty, in fitness, in wellness, in self-love and self-care, and like true well-being, like the
Mhm.
truest of well-being, not just on the surface, but like all the way through, and you've
Mhm.
had such a journey, I think, in your life. um and I think it's beautiful when we take our mess and turn it into our message, right? We
Yeah.
take our struggles and our suffering and our sadness and our heartbreak, really, and we
Mhm.
bring that through into a way to be of service. And I think that's, to me, from the outside looking in into the work that you're doing and what you're creating, that feels like what you're really about. It's like, no matter where you've been, no matter what has happened to you, it doesn't matter the story that you tell to others or to yourself, you can still be beautiful and radiant and confident, whatever age, whatever your circumstances, whatever the situation. And I just want to say thank you for being, the embodiment of beauty and grace. Even though you've been through all the things, you've overcome them. And so I think that's such a beautiful thing. So I would love for you to share with our listeners, if there are specific things about your journey that you want to share that you think would be of benefit. I think that would be lovely. I think there's always a before, a during, and a this is where I am now. And I know you've had a lot of challenges. So if you want to share some of those, I think that would be beautiful.
Yeah, I of course I want to. Yeah, like you said, there had been many things. And first off, I'm Dutch born, moved to Canada when I was 30. So of course that was, um, a little challenging and exciting at the same time. And then I had bulimia from the age of 18 till 40. And my parents died when I was 37. They passed 6 months after each other. And I think that that was the point that I started to recognize, hey, my eating issues are not normal. There is something going on with me, and I want to do something about it. And yeah, it was a journey. I can say that as a 40, so it kind of took 3 years that I was bulimia free, but then after I was still um, binge eating,
Mhm.
which happened again in COVID, by the way, too, in the first lockdown. um,
Sure.
but it is way easier now for me um, to stop and to realize, okay, what's really going on with me, and to realize, okay, that food is not going to make me happy, and it's not about the food
Right.
in the end at all. But the fact that my parents passed away early, I think, gave me a midlife crisis at a younger age.
Sure.
And it really sparked a healing journey. Well, like, also apparently a lot of people that lose their parents, sometimes mysterious illness follows.
Interesting.
And in my case, in 2008, after my parents passed away, I had silicone breast implants.
Mhm.
And when I in 2012, I started to have mysterious um, health issues.
Mhm.
uh, I had done 2 Ironmans. Of course, that is like yeah, targeting your immune system and health. I
Mhm.
probably was overtrained at that point.
Yeah.
Um, and then a year after that, I had a bullseye rash, which is a rash, a result from a tick bite. I never saw the tick though, but I had the rash. And
Mhm.
then more serious things started to happen, like severe headaches, neck pain, gut issues, a lot of pain. So, yeah, they like to call it then fibromyalgia,
Yep.
chronic fatigue syndrome, sleep issues.
Mhm.
I had a lot of, I just brain fog. Like, it felt like I was driving my kids around with a hangover all the time.
Mhm.
But you don't realize that when you're in the middle of it. You kind of realize, I realized that when I was doing a lot better.
Mhm.
And yeah, at the same time, I raised 2 boys. They're now 17 and 19. And also, I live on a farm. My husband is a dairy farmer. And um, so there's always I'm part of the team, right? I'm always supporting him and with
Sure.
everything I can. So I was always busy, and I went to multiple doctors. Went to the Stanford Clinic in San Francisco to a chronic fatigue specialist, and then I went to LA to a clinic. I'm still in touch with them.
Mhm.
I did so many treatments, holistic, but also antibiotics, which I think is very necessary for Lyme disease.
Sure.
Most naturopathic doctors agree on that.
Mhm.
Um, and then in 2017, well, my father-in-law passed away in the Netherlands, and then I also at the same time had my Lyme disease diagnosed, finally a real diagnose from blood work.
Mhm.
And yeah, his last words to me were like, "Oh, I'm so happy for you that you finally know what's going on. You're not crazy." And I ever felt since that he was sort of an angel alongside, or a helper, or whatever.
So
And
sweet.
it really sparked my healing. I realized, hey, it's not only in the body. I
Yeah.
need to start working on my mind as well, and really start healing. Um, realizing my dad had PTSD, um, all sorts of family stuff
Mm,
that I started to heal through several programs. I had some coaches, but I have to say that certain programs were most beneficial for me. And I started meditating. I started to wake up out of my zombie mode life.
right.
And I started volunteering for the Lyme Disease Association here. And that combined with a friend in LA that I met it for lunch there, said to me, like, you got to do something with your story, with your whole life.
Yeah.
And then I started going back to school. I did wellness coaching, I did personal training, I did nutrition coaching,
All the
all
things.
in 1 year. It was kind of crazy, but and then I started coaching, and I was helping women with weight loss.
Mhm.
And then last year I realized, uh, yeah, the coaching is all good, but I don't feel that it's really what I want, like I've always dreamed of having a big Instagram account. And many coaches and people told me always, no, you don't need a big Instagram account. But it was always that feeling, hey, and kind of wanting to be an influencer, blogger,
Yeah.
um,
You
but
want to
more
teach
than
people.
just that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I really rebranded last year, a lot of work behind the scenes and just working on myself. Last year, I also recognized that I had breast implant illness.
Mm.
Um, I feel that's the final puzzle of my, my health journey. And I have surgery for that April 20th. I'm
Wow.
really excited about that and happy about that.
Yes.
And I really got clear on what I want and how I want to live my life. And um, also in my family, I'm not really a farm girl. So I craved the city, and now we bought a different home in a place that I love, so I
That's
can go back and forth.
good.
And yeah, so it's been quite
A
a
journey.
good year to be, even with all the horrible things happening, or it's been a good year. And
Well, you've done the
I've
best you can with what you've had, and
true, yeah,
you're creating, I would say, and this is what I tell most of my friends and colleagues and clients. It's that we are creating our own little reality within the greater reality, right? And so like whatever we desire and what we're creating, what brings us and joy, happiness and joy, that's what we need to focus on. And it feels to me
mhm,
like that's exactly what you're doing. And you
yeah,
took the time,
yeah,
you explored all the scenarios, you went within, right? I think we don't ever really know what we're supposed to be doing until we take the time to go within, right? And
yeah,
really listen to the truth of what we're being called to do. And so I think for you, you've been through so much and had such a journey that you needed that moment to be like, wow, wait, now what do I really want? Like, what do I really
hmm
want to do? You've had such a journey of healing and of growth and of transformation. And now you're taking all of that learning and all of that growth and all the healing and you're still healing. Like you're gonna
oh
after
yeah,
20th. I
yeah,
mean, that's gonna be
yeah,
that's a whole nother level, right? I think. But I think it's beautiful that you're lending your voice and your influence to shedding light on what's possible for other women that have experienced similar things to you. I think that's an extraordinary message and mission and blessing that you are. I love it. So I know that right now you're starting kind of this, new venture around beauty and brands and really being kind of the face and the voice behind some of your favorite products and programs, right? So
mhm,
you want to
yeah.
share with us kind of your heart around what you want women to know at at our age, like this age, whatever we are, right?
Mhm.
Some of the things that you want to bring to them, some products or some programs, and how can they maybe step through the transition like you have with as much ease and grace, which it's never really easy and it's not always graceful. But what are some of the things that you'd like for them to know that you're creating right now that they could be a part of?
Yeah, I'm creating a whole platform with different things, like you said, fashion, beauty,
Mhm.
wellness, coaching, fitness related,
Mm,
and all the things that I am bringing to my audience
mhm.
do have to feel really good within my
Yeah, of
heart.
course.
It's I don't want to give anything that I don't believe 100% in.
Sure.
And then I have to also, I want to be truthful, and this is my truth, and I want every woman to be able to make for themselves the decision how they want to look, how they want to feel. It doesn't have to be all the same, as what worked for me will work for you. I want them to discover and be honest and um, honest about it. But I have to say that, like, for me, tapping emotional freedom technique was really a game changer. It was really a game changer. I had so many limiting beliefs from my parents and society,
Yeah.
and that I just assumed, I assumed I had to be a mother and a wife, right? And I'm still happily a mother and a wife, but I can do so many other things.
Right.
And um, I want for people to stop assuming, and and put things in boxes, and like, you have to be that way and that way. And because tapping was such a game changer for me, I want to offer. I was and am still in Jackie McDonald's circle
Yeah.
membership, and so I want to be able to offer that to my audience too, because it's so powerful. And as for fashion, I love designer labels. I've always had that love,
Yeah. Perfect.
but it doesn't mean that you have to buy designer clothing to
Right.
look good. You can actually, with a low budget, look amazing and
Yeah.
feel amazing, because that's what it is for me, looking good.
More, it's more
Being-
the styling and being honest about what you love and what feels good for you, right? Not necessarily what
Yeah.
everyone else is doing. Yeah. And I feel like you have this kind of this edge, right, to your vibe and your style. And it's kind of this rebel kind of
Mm.
situation, right? So it's, to me, it's kind of like, yes, you want to fit in some semblance of the box, yet you want to build your own, you want women, yourself included, to create our own essence, our
Yeah.
own vibe, our own style. So it doesn't have to necessarily be in, it doesn't have to look a certain way or be in a certain
No.
form. It could be anything. And I think that
Yeah.
if anything comes through from your energy and your essence, it's that. It's like, I don't care what anyone else thinks. I'm going to do what feels good to me. And I
Yeah.
love that you're sharing that message with other women, because I think a lot of times it's hard. It's hard to break
Mhm.
out of the box and be different from everyone else. Like, I've been doing it for a long time, but a lot of women still struggle. So I
Oh
think it's
yeah.
beautiful that you're bringing that message through. Like, again, wherever you've been, whatever your dreams or visions, you can still look fabulous, be amazing, feel incredible, and it doesn't have to look or feel like what anyone else feels like is the right
Yeah.
for you. I think that's super cool.
And also the fact that, you don't have to fit in like we believe. I believed that I had to
Right.
fit in a certain mold to be likable. And I think the most important thing is that you like yourself. And I never liked myself. And that really the tapping really helped me to accept everything, my bulimia, my or my shame. I had so much shame and guilt always. I was walking around with guilt, and all those pieces belong to you, and once you can embrace that, that is so powerful, and then the whole world changes. Like, my husband is growing with me. It doesn't always have to be after 23 years you have to divorce because you grow apart. No,
No, you change.
he's looking at me and is growing with me, and then same for my kids. I try to have them fit into a certain mold and model, and that has all gone, and they kind of appreciate, yeah, and I'm just being really honest too, and I think that's yeah, the most important thing is that you like yourself. And I think so many people don't like themselves. And then you see these posts with, yeah, self-love, love yourself. But I was like, yeah, what is that loving myself? Like, I have so many things that I hate. So,
Well,
it's
we're not taught to love ourselves. That's not how
no,
we're
we're not.
raised. We're
Right.
we're really, if you think about it, especially as women, I think as humanity, it's a general rule, but I think specifically as women too, we are taught to outsource our validation, our approval, our appreciation, our love, our affection. We are taught to seek it outside of ourselves, right? Through
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah.
parents, teachers,
Totally.
lovers,
Yeah,
friends, preachers, teachers, everything. It's so we consistently look outside of ourselves. Are we
yeah,
enough? Do you love me? Am I worthy? Do you care for me? Versus just literally going within and self-sourcing the truth of who we are, which is
yeah,
that we're more than enough.
yeah,
We are made perfectly and wonderfully. Like we don't even need to outsource any of that in order to feel loved and adored and appreciated. So I love that is the message that you're bringing. I love the work that you're doing. I love what you stand for, as far as just, again, and I said it before, like no matter where you are, no matter where you've come from, whatever your story is, it does not matter. It does not matter. You can step into a life of self-love and self-respect, of beauty, of fashion, of influence, of ease and grace. And it could be an extraordinary life, and it could look nothing like you thought it would, but it can
hmm
still be amazing. So I'm so excited for the journey that you're on. I love that you've gotten your new space where you feel like you can have both, both and right, both lives, and still
yeah.
feel happy and gorgeous. I'm so excited for April 20th for you. I'm
Thank you.
going to be celebrating that day with you. And I
Yes.
know that our listeners will be as well, because I know that, that's going to be an opening to a whole new journey for you, a whole new way
Yeah,
of showing up and vibrance and how you're
yeah,
going to feel on the other
yeah.
side of that. So I'm super excited about that all for you. So
Thank
thank
you.
you so much for being with us today. Is there any last minute tip or advice or things you'd like to share before we close out our time together?
Um, just wanted to say that I think it's so cool what we all, create together in this space too. And I think we all have the same message of self-love, and it's just to the audience, okay, who do I feel most connected with, right? And that's probably what's going to work for you. And I'm just, yeah, honored to be part of this journey with everyone together. And yeah, I hope you feel connected with me and inspired. And
Well,
yeah,
we'll for sure put all of your links, darling, all of your social links and website things, whatever you provide for us, we'll make sure that the listeners are able to stay connected with you. And for those of you that are listening and want to be part of what we are creating as a community, as the Soul Centered CEO collective and community, we'd love to welcome you into that. So reach out, obviously, if you have any questions, and we'll be doing some different fun, exciting events throughout the year. So would love to have you part of our community. Thank you so much for being here today. It's such an honor and always a a pleasure to be with you and spend time with you. And I'm just so excited. I just want to say, for all of the beautiful partnerships and collaborations and all the things that are on their way to you. I know what your dreams are and what your heart is to be able to share your influence and your light and your love with millions and beyond. So I'm excited to hold that vision with you as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you.
You bet.